Hello everybody, Marcus Godwin here with the Shroom Vremeni Noise of Time blog with some more details. Many nuances have come to light over the weekend about the attempted colour revolution in Belarus. It seems for the moment to be flagging, but only just. Things could go either way. What have we discovered over the last few days? Well, remember I described a Belarusian housewife and chosen opposition leader by the West and the Western media, Svetlana Tikonovskaya, as a seemingly nice person. Well, I'm afraid I have to revise this opinion. She is in fact a traitor to the state of Belarus, a traitor to her Belarusian-Russian roots, 1,000-year-old culture, heritage, etc., etc., etc. It has been confirmed that the agenda of the opposition that she heads is nothing more than the total and absolute separation of every possible, basically normal contact between Belarus and Russia. I repeat, that is as if the West, by some cunning move, because it needed something from Somerset, turned Somerset into an independent state about 25, 30 years ago, and is now fomenting an anti-English revolution there with the idea of cutting off Somerset completely from England and having it do business only with the United States or with, I don't know, anywhere, Brazil or whatever, some unrelated people with unrelated culture, or pretty much. The neighbours of Belarus on the western side are the Baltic states, Poland, and of course Ukraine, which is now run by a puppet US, EU, NATO government, thanks to the illegal putsch that the West stirred there 6 years ago, of which what's going on in Belarus is an attempted repetition. So they want that the opposition, this is, the guys who are being cheered on by your Western media, if you're watching this from the Western world, they want all agreements about trade, mutual cooperation and so on with Russia to be cancelled. As I said the other day, Russia has at least three major agreements with Belarus. One of them is called the Customs Union, which also includes Kazakhstan, which means there is no customs control between Belarus and the Russian Federation. The countries are linked together. Even on my visa, it says the Customs Union of Russia, Belarus and Kazakhstan, for example. All these cooperation agreements will be cut. They want also to ban Russian television from Belarus, to not exactly ban immediately, but to start teaching in Belarusian schools everywhere the Belarusian language and not Russian. Now, really, very, very few people in Belarus speak Belarusian, actually, very few. Compared to Ukraine, where it did become fashionable for quite some decades, and even earlier in the past. There are those who say that Ukrainian language was invented by scholars of Slavonic language in the mid-19th century by professors of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in order to use it as a tool against the Russian Empire in the future. In other words, to use it as a tool against the centre of world Christianity. Talking about Christianity, they of course want to promote a kind of schismatic Belarusian Orthodox Church instead of the Belarusian Orthodox Church, which is under the umbrella of the Russian Orthodox Church, with Moscow as the centre of world orthodoxy. This goes without saying, of course. And they want to prepare the country for mentorship and for entering the EU and NATO. That's it. Anyone who follows conversely this agenda and collaborates with the leaders of the EU, United States and so on is, I'm afraid, a traitor. There's nothing much else to say about it. I've also been reading articles about even some of the protesters are anti-Lukashenko, not because they're pro-EU and NATO, but precisely because Lukashenko has dragged his feet, in spite of the union measures that have happened, and constantly even sabotaged, according to some of them, further integration measures with the Russian Federation, which many people in Belarus would like to see. I must say there are an awful lot of people who are anti-EU and anti-NATO and do not want to go down this colour revolution road, who nonetheless seem very deeply committed to the independent Belarus that has existed now since 1991. Well, that is absolutely their right, and of course I respect it. I just would like to repeat that if Belarus had at the very least, closer integration still, or was an autonomous republic within the Russian Federation, or had the same status as Wales, Scotland and Ireland and England in the United Kingdom, this putsch now, this attempted putsch overthrow of the power could not be happening. It's clear that many people are dissatisfied with Lukashenko. I've heard pretty scathing comments even on the mainstream Russian media today, particularly as yesterday he got off an aeroplane with the cameras turning, in a kind of combat flax, with carrying a Kalashnikov, in his hand, like something like Rambo or Terminator or whatever. This is pretty seriously counterproductive. However, that is not really the main point. Whatever one thinks of Lukashenko, this is an attempt to hive a very massive and very important part of the Russian world away from Russia completely, convert it to fake Christianity, have it taken over by everything the West now stands for, the abolishment of the Christian family, the abolishment of Christian faith in every possible way. We must remember that the majority of leaders of the European Union and the Anglo-Saxon world are practicing Luciferians. Don't believe me? Get online and check it out for yourself. Don't believe anything I'm saying? Please get online and check it out for yourself. How this is going to play out, I don't know. As I say, the energy seems to be flagging among these red flag wavers. I was also reading for people who were in Belarus 2 years ago saying these red flags already existed and were being highly promoted, and they were asking why do other groups in Belarus, especially the pro-Russian ones, are not doing the same thing? Why these flags, there are now hundreds of thousands of them, I guess, on the streets of Belarus, where do they all come from? They're all professionally manufactured, they're not homemade. Who organised this? Who's financing it? Well, I'm sure we will find out. In fact, we already know the usual suspects. Anyway, that's enough for now. Speak to you very soon about the ongoing situation and many other things, and I will keep bringing you a point of view and varying points of view which you will never hear in your Western media. So be good, everybody. Please feel free to contribute if you can, and speak to you all very soon. Bye.